Good morning. Welcome to Yoga by Beka. I'm Beka, and I am doing some yoga for strength this morning. This is my dog Mabel, and if you'd like to get started and do and learn yoga with me, let's get on our mat in hero's pose. My apologies, I've been very sick lately. I'm still trying to get over it. Excuse me. But focus on your breath and take notice of your body. Take in your surroundings, what you might be feeling, what you might be thinking. Take notice of how your feet feel and your legs. Notice how the mat feels underneath them. Then travel up your spine, up to your shoulders. Are they relaxed? Do you feel tense? Focus on your breathing and how it feels going in and out. Think about what you'd like to dedicate today's practice to. Would it be to build your strength, your spirituality, your peace, your flexibility? Let peace and tranquility wash over your mind. Put your hands to your heart and give thanks for this special time you're giving yourself to prioritize your well-being. Lower your head down and your hands back towards your feet in child's pose. Then slowly lift up into tabletop position. Let's warm up our wrists by slowly shifting your hips back to sit on your heels and then forward to where your shoulders come over your wrists. Keep your back flat and just shift your body back and forth, back and forth. My goodness. Do a few circles, clockwise and counterclockwise, to wake up your wrists. Flip your hands to where your fingertips point towards your knees. And again, rock back and forth, sitting on your heels and then rocking forward, warming up your forearms as well as your wrists. Take a few moments and bend them left and right, exploring the space. Now bring your hands up and just shake them. Shake off any tensions. Feel the vibration through your body. Shake your arms back and forth, and then come back into tabletop position. Notice how the mat feels underneath your hands. The center of your palms, try to make them suction down onto the mat, and then slowly pull your back up towards the ceiling, tucking your chin and letting your shoulders fall away on either side, creating space between the shoulders. Now slowly tighten your muscles and lift your knees just about an inch or so off the mat and hover. Feel the strength building in your shoulders and down your arms. Tighten your core. Feeling your power charging up in your body. Slowly straighten out your legs until you're in plank position. Tuck your tailbone under. Shift forward and back a few times. Continuing warming up your wrists, your shoulders, your forearms. Breathing in and breathing out. Completely get into a meditative state with your breath, focusing on that and not allowing any discomforts of the poses to distract you. This is a practice in keeping your focus as well as strengthening your body. Lower down onto your forearms, tucking the tail, pushing your shoulders down and away from your back, tightening the core, and meditating on the breath. Slowly lower your knees down, send the hips back onto the backs of your heels into child's pose, outstretching the arms, then slowly get back up into tabletop position. Lower yourself down into puppy pose where your chest meets the mat, opening up your shoulders. Breathing deeply in and deeply out. Be careful not to hyperextend your shoulders. Go as deep as your body allows you, but don't push anything. Lift back up. Push the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Stay here for a few moments. Take your dog for a walk. Push your chest to be a little bit closer to the tops of your legs, opening up those shoulders. And you'll feel a similar sensation as you did when you were in puppy pose. This feels really good if you have a desk job and you're hunched over a keyboard often. Also releasing any tension if you slept funny the night before. Slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet into forward fold. You can bend your knees, lift up, flat back, exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, lift up, flat back, exhale, forward fold. Now walk your hands in front of you again until you're in downward facing dog. Lift up on your toes, catch a wave and move forward into plank position. Letting your feet come together, come on the razor's edge of your left foot into side plank, lifting the right arm high in the sky, pushing your hips up towards the ceiling. Lift up your right leg and hold it there if your balance is good. Mine is not, I'm working on it. But challenge yourself and try to pull up that right leg and then step it forward into low lunge. Lower your left knee down, pull your hands high in the sky, push your hips down and forward, deepening the lunge. Reaching high in the sky like you're holding up a giant ball. Breathing deeply in and out, focusing on the breath. Lower the hands down and then shift your right leg forward into half split. Exhale, lower the chest over the leg. Inhale, lift up, flat back. Exhale, lower the chest over the leg. Inhale, exhale. Focusing on the breath. Move your right leg to the left and right, enjoying all the sensations of all the different muscles in your leg as you stretch them. Lower the left knee off of the mat, lift up, and then turn towards the short end of the mat into forward center straddle. You can lay your head down on the mat if you'd like. Your heels are wider than your toes. Lift up, flat back. Then bend down on the left side into a side lunge. Your heel can be on the mat or not. Lift back up, turn to face the front of the mat. Your right knee is bent, left leg is straight. Take your right arm up to the sky into a side twist, twisting to the right. Twisting that side body. Arm goes over the head. Heel toe your right foot to the side of the mat to create space. Face forward, and then breathe in and pull the leg through, and then exhale, step it back. Breathe in, pull the left leg through. Exhale, step it back. Again, left leg goes forward. Then set your bum down. Roll down on your back. Left foot high in the sky, right is extended. Crunch towards your knee on the breath, breathing in and out. Pulse it a bit. Then crunch forward and just stay here. Hands extended towards the foot. Roll back up into a seated position. Step the left foot back and through to where you're again in a lunge position. Lower the left knee down into lizard lunge. You can go down on your forearms or stay put. Bounce up and down. Really getting a deep stretch. Lower the knee down. And then take your right hand, reach behind you, and grab your left toes on the pinky side if possible. Anytime you need to stop, reset, and try again, do so. Now rotate that right arm back. Kind of bend your back a little bit and look over your shoulder if you can. Your right knee should be kind of facing outward. Left foot, just kind of pull it in towards your buttocks. Slowly release, hands down, and then step back into plank position. Tail is tucked, core is tight. Slowly rock forward, lower and bend the elbows into chaturanga. Lift up the chest and then lower back down. Then push back up into plank position. Lower the hips down and melt down to the ground. Releasing, clasp the hands behind your back. And then lift your chest up, pulling the hands back towards the legs. And then slowly release, head goes to the mat. Put your hands by your rib cage, under your shoulders, and lift up into tabletop, then push your hips back into child's pose. Breathing deeply in and out on a rhythmic breath of your meditation. Put your hands forward. Lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Opening up the shoulders and pushing your chest close to your thighs. Then catch a wave and roll forward into plank position. Put your feet together and then roll over on the edge of your right foot and do a side plank facing your left side. Left hand goes high in the air. And if your posture is good and you push your hips up, focus on tightening the core and envision lifting the leg and balancing. My balance is not quite there, but I work on it. Then step the left foot forward into a low lunge. Hopefully you can do it a little more gracefully than I was able to. Lower the right knee down. Lift the arms up high in the sky, pushing the hips down and forward, deepening the stretch. Pretend you're holding a ball above your head. Tighten the core. Breathing deeply in and out. Hands float down on the mat. Extend that left leg forward into half split. Lean over your front leg. Then breathe in, lift up. Exhale, lower the chest down over the leg. Breathe in, lift up. Move your leg to the left and right, or if you need to bounce a little, do so. Lift the left leg back up. Straighten the legs up. Face the short end of the mat and do a side straddle. Or if you slip like I do, you fall on your butt. Get back up. I feel like it's time for a new yoga mat. Mine is old and slick. And also, when you sweat, you tend to make things a little bit slicker. Do a forward front straddle. Then lean over to your right side, sitting down into a side lunge. Skandasana. Opening up those center leg muscles. Then face the front of the mat, left foot in front, right leg behind you, not bent straight. Lift your left arm high in the sky and you're twisting towards the left side. Twisting that side body. Now lift your arm over your head. Put it down. And then breathe in and step your right leg through to the front. Exhale, step it behind you into that lunge. Breathe in and step it in front of you. Then transition it behind you. Step it in front of you. Hold. Then lower your bum down, roll back on your back. Right leg is high in the sky. Left is extended out. And crunch towards that right knee. Don't let your shoulder blades touch the ground. Engage the core. Pulse a bit. Then roll back up into a seated position. Breathe in deeply, then exhale, stepping that right foot behind you again in a low lunge. And then get into like a lizard lunge. You can lower the forearms down, really opening and creating some space. You can heel toe your left foot out to the side of the mat to create even more space for your body. Bend that right leg behind you and then really take some time And reach your left hand behind you to grab that right foot, bending the right foot towards your hips. Rotate out your left shoulder and look over your shoulder if you can. You can let your left knee kind of fall away as your left hand's going back to grab your right foot on the pinky side of your foot to really get the most out of that external rotation. And slightly relaxed, pull your right foot a little bit closer towards your buttocks and your hips. Slowly release. Arms go overhead and then down back to the mat. And feet go to the back into plank position. Tuck your tail under. Rock forward slightly, lower the elbows down into chaturanga. Pull up into upward facing dog, then push the hips back and up into downward facing dog. Catch a wave, transition to plank position, rock forward, lower the elbows down, lower down into upward facing dog, then push back into downward facing dog. Stay here for a moment, breathing deeply in and out. Then catch a wave forward back into plank position, rock forward, bend the elbows, lower down to your belly, grab your hands behind you into sort of a locust position, lifting the chest and the feet off the mat, using your back muscles, balancing on your hips and belly, then release all down. Put your hands under your armpits, under your shoulders. Get up on your toes, push up into plank position, and then pull back the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Breathing deeply in and deeply out. Get up on your toes, bend the knees. Hop, float, or jump up to where you're in a forward fold. Lift up halfway, flat back. Melt back down over your knees. Slowly bend the legs and roll your body up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Hands go high in the sky and touch. Then exhale, swan dive down into forward fold. Lift up halfway, flat back, and then pop back into plank position, tucking the tail, tightening the core. Rock forward slowly, lower down, chaturanga. Pull up into upward facing dog. Push your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Hop back into forward fold, bend the knees, slowly lower up, hands high in the sky and they touch. And then slowly lower your hips down and back into chair position. Lift your arms forward, making a flat line from your hands down to your tail. Your tail is tucked. You'll feel the weight of your body in the heels of your feet, awakening those thigh muscles. Breathing deeply in and deeply out. Bring your hands into prayer position and then twist the body, putting your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. You should really feel it burning now. If you're anything like me and in your middle ages, you notice your legs really changing in appearance. Doing these positions really helps me feel like I'm exercising the parts of my body that are getting old the fastest, which are my legs. Now release and pull up with hands touching high in the sky. Then sit back down into your chair position, making an imaginary flat line from your hands down to the tail. Tuck the tail, tighten the core, sit back on those hips, and then go into prayer position and do a side twist with your right elbow coming onto the outside of your left knee. Feeling a deep burn, hold it, then release back down. Shake out any tensions that have been building up in your upper thighs. Having your legs being very strong as you're getting into the later stages of life is going to be so important for the ability to keep stamina and mobility as you age. When we are 80 and 90 years old, we want to be able to carry heavy groceries up flights of stairs if we need to. Slowly lower down and release into child's pose. You can roll your head left and right, massaging the forehead, the temples, really letting everything go. Let the floor support you. Release any kind of muscle control in your whole body. Just do a total release. Breathing deeply in and deeply out. When ready, lift up and let's get into crisscross applesauce. And maybe to release any tightness in your lower back and hips, do a few Sufi grinds on the rhythm of your breath. And then, whenever it feels good for you, come into a meditative state. Just relax. Notice the difference that you feel in your body. Notice any parts of you that might be crying out for more stretching, or notice the vibrational change in the magnetic field around you. Thank yourself and thank the universe for giving you the strength and endurance to do yoga this morning and to pay special attention to the mind-body connection. When you're doing yoga, you are yoking together your mind and your physical body, taking your mind from wandering off and bringing it back inside of yourself to focus on yourself and preparing the passenger within your body to be able to go forward in your day and accomplish with love, peace, and confidence anything that might come your way in the next hours. I appreciate you learning yoga along with me in your living room. Thank you and have a blessed day.